Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really am so appreciative of each and every one of you here present with these readings, especially those of you tuning in for the live premiered version of the readings. So today, I have to say that for this reading video, I really didn't get anything in advance of the reading. So all of the messages are going to be coming through using tarot as a tool, and of course, picking up on the energy of those of you who are here co-creating this reading along with me, which, by the way, thank you for sharing your own light and energy here. I know that so many of you are powerful creators in your own life out there, manifesting your own incredible visions and dreams and goals in your lives. And it means so much to me that you're here also sharing some of that energy to co-create all of these messages that come through. I've also really enjoyed doing more of what I refer to as mini readings, which are really just the videos between these Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time collective reading videos. So let me know if you've been enjoying the mini readings. Also, let me know in the comments if there's anything that you'd like to see on the channel in terms of new content. I am very open to any ideas or suggestions that you might have as we move forward into the next evolution of this channel in the year of 2025. So I'm going to start by shuffling some of the energy oracle cards, which I actually have to get out here. I will say that one energy I felt coming through, especially as I was preparing for this reading, is the energy of someone who misses you. And I know that sounds cliche, but I was just picking up on someone who just misses your presence, misses your light. This could be a friend, a family member. This could be a romantic situation. But I'm just hearing that this is a person who is moving around their day feeling as though they're seeing you. I'm hearing ghosts of you, which I think also might be a song, if I'm not mistaken. But they're seeing you everywhere they go. And it's almost like you've left this energetic imprint on them that's kind of haunting them now, that they're feeling you absent in some type of way. So I am going to actually look up to see if that is a song. Let's see if I was right about that. I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, so there's a song called Ghost of You. And actually, there's a song by that title by many different artists. So let's look up some of the lyrics here, because I'm really feeling like there might be a message here. So I'm going to do the version that is by 5 Seconds of Summer, and some of the lyrics say, "So I drown it out like I always do, dancing through our house with the ghost of you. And I chase it down with a shot of truth, dancing through our house with the ghost of you. Too young, too dumb to know things like love. So I drown it out like I always do." Interesting. So there's someone trying to drown out these feelings that they're having of missing you. And for some reason, I keep picking up imagery around a house. So I don't know if the two of you were in a house together, or maybe if you once lived together, you lived in a certain house together. But I'm getting that for many of you, this is actually speaking to a timeline that's is almost like an alternate timeline. I know this is getting very quantum, but I am getting that for many of you, this is actually speaking to a timeline that's is almost like an alternate timeline. I know this is getting very quantum, but I am getting that for many of you, this is actually speaking to a timeline that's is almost like an alternate timeline. I know this is getting very quantum, but I feel as though there is this alternate timeline where the two of you either built or purchased a home together or lived together in a home, made a space into a home together. And there is this sense of the both of you being able to read into that alternate timeline, which is very interesting that this is coming up here actually, because there was a channeled message that I downloaded yesterday and I wrote it down in my notes on my phone. And so this says, let me see if I can find where the note is. Here it is. The veil is thin between timelines right now. Select your frequency carefully. So it's interesting because I thought that this meant that in your personal life, there were just many different timelines accessible and available to you. And of course, I feel that that's still the case. I got the name Chase or Casey for someone, or something with the CHA or some combination of those letters. Maybe someone feels like they are wanting to chase you, like wanting to earn you back, I'm hearing. Interesting. Okay, so what I'm getting about timelines here is when I say the veil is thin between timelines, I mean, it feels like things are very fluid. And I imagine that many of you are picking up on this as well. The way that I've been personally experiencing this energy is like whenever you choose or find yourself in a particular frequency, it begins to materialize a timeline very quickly, much more quickly than we would have seen that timeline materializing in the past. So for example, if you get into a frequency of fear or anxiety, you may feel as though that frequency of fear shifts you into almost like this alternate reality very quickly, where things around you just look kind of darker or more, I don't know, more dim, more convoluted. It's almost like feeding off of or materializing that fear frequency in a timeline that almost visually even reflects that. You may actually notice even visual changes in your timeline based on your frequency. But the opposite is true as well. You'll notice that when you really shift up into this energy of freedom, excitement, love, abundance, you may actually find that connections, people, opportunities, things seem to materialize around you much more quickly than they would have in the past. So that was one message coming through. And that's actually what I thought initially this thin veil between timelines would be leading us into, although I didn't really think it was going to come up in this particular collective reading, which tells me that someone must have really manifested through that particular piece of information. But anyway, I didn't expect that this veil thinning between timelines would also lead us to be able to access these alternate timelines that are playing themselves out with particular people that we may have had relationships or connections with in the past. So you might be catching stronger glimpses of these alternate timelines than usual, or almost like feeling them pulling on you. And I have to say that getting back to this very specific person and energy that I'm feeling, I keep imagining them as a masculine energy, although of course we all have a balance internally of both masculine and feminine energy, and this could be reversed for you. So always take that however it connects. But I feel that for many of you listening, you are more so the divine feminine here, whereas the person that we're channeling into who's missing you, and I'm hearing they're projecting something onto you. So maybe they're projecting that energy of longing or missing you onto you in a way that you're feeling or picking up on consciously. It's interesting that that came through. Okay, so I'm sensing that many of you would resonate more so as the divine feminine. And so I'll most likely be putting that in the title of the video just so it finds the most aligned audience. Although, of course, use your intuition with all of these messages. Only take what resonates with you personally. Take it however it resonates. And I always intend these readings to simply be a guide, a confirmation for what your intuition already knows. But your intuition is the highest guide through your life experience. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards, which I said I was going to do a while ago, but we got a little bit sidetracked here. While I'm shuffling, if you would like to contribute your energy in a stronger way, then you can do so by subscribing to the channel. Subscribing is a form of energetic transference that does tend to allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you, not just here in this video, but in future reading videos as well. And right as I was saying that and starting the shuffling, I got a message that because the veil is so thin between timelines right now, you are actually, and not just you, this person who's missing you as well, you're both picking up on the energy of a timeline where the two of you never disconnected. And that timeline is still playing itself out. And you're both feeling it pull on you. And it's creating this sense of longing. I'm hearing it's not too late to re-merge back into that. For some reason, my guides keep calling it the original timeline, that you can still re-merge back into that timeline. And here we have the Victory card in the upright position. So I feel as though this person is really focused on, I'm hearing winning you back, winning you over, earning your trust, earning your love, although I'm speaking from their perspective because, of course, I feel that you are someone who really does radiate that love unconditionally. It's not something that has to be earned, but in their mind, they feel as though they're trying to earn your trust, to earn your love, to win you back in some sense. But with the Garden and the Gate in the upright position, they're perceiving you as difficult to access at times. But I feel that they're actually really evolving in their understanding of that, because in the past, they thought you were just difficult to access and it frustrated them, or it just made them almost blame you for being so guarded or being so difficult to access. But the thing about this person is, I feel now they're realizing that you being difficult to access is meant to motivate them to go within themselves and to balance themselves, to essentially find you or connect with you, access you by aligning with you energetically. It's almost like the way that you've been interacting with them in terms of remaining boldly focused on what you're trying to create in your life, the energy you're trying to cultivate in your life, which automatically blocks out any dissonant frequencies, including this person when they are associated with that dissonant frequency and therefore feeling blocked out of your life. It's like the way that you've been interacting with them and with others in this way is actually a powerful teaching process to the other person if they're willing to allow it to be a teaching process rather than getting frustrated and just shutting down. It's actually a very spiritual, almost like a spiritually training experience connecting with you in this way. But it takes a lot of courage on your end, because you have to have the courage and the strength and the clarity to maintain this desired frequency, even when people react negatively to not being able to fully access you in that frequency. I know we're talking on such a quantum level here. Do let me know in the comments if anything here has been connecting with you. But we also have Door to Spirit. This just represents that spiritual aspect to getting to know you. Now, I will say we had the Magician and the Mirror here as well. So I feel that this person who's missing you, it's almost like they're ready for something here that they weren't ready for in the past, because they've been open to this spiritual learning experience, because they've been using connecting with you as kind of a guide to connect with their own inner self. Whether they fully consciously realize they're doing that or not, that process is taking place all the same. So I feel that part of why you might be picking up on this energy of longing to connect with them or longing for this timeline with them that you may have not longed for in a really long time, the reason that you're feeling it more consciously is because you're sensing this person's preparedness. You're sensing that they are actually really becoming more prepared to connect with you in a real way on that timeline. It's almost like the feeling of this timeline opening up for you when it felt really closed off for a long time in the past. And I'm getting a message that when a timeline is ready for you, you might find yourself beginning to long for it more strongly, or even to catch glimpses of it, because you're intuitively sensing that something that was closed off for you for a long time is now giving you the green light. It's now actually opening up. So I'm going to be reshuffling here, and I want to channel a bit more into this energy. So what else can I channel about this person or situation? Okay, so here I'm getting the King of Pentacles reversed, the Five of Pentacles upright, and the Seven of Cups in the upright position. So I feel like we're shifting away from this specific thread of energy for now. And because that's happening, I want to let you know that I will be continuing that specific channeling in the extended version of the reading on Patreon. So we will be taking a look at this person who misses you, what they're specifically thinking and feeling towards you, what actions they are likely to take towards you, and anything else we can channel about this potential timeline that's opening up for you with that specific person. So all of those details will be in our extended reading on Patreon, which I do these extended readings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with the main collective readings. So I would love for you to join our Soul Tribe on Patreon, and the link to that is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. Okay, so the energy I'm picking up on here still feels like very much a masculine energy, but I'm getting that for some of you, yes, it might still be that past person that we were talking about, but for many of you, this is someone different. Or for some of you, of course, this may not resonate at all, because I always say only take the threads of energy from these readings that really connect for you. These are collective readings. But I'm picking up on a masculine who I'm hearing that they put money or superficial things above love and above connection and above caring for you. And they over prioritized something related to money, status, something superficial over their connection with you, because the connection with you was one that they began to take for granted. I'm hearing they never thought that you would leave, or they never thought you would walk away. Now, for many of you, this could be a past romantic person, but this also could be a friend, a family member, really anyone in your life. I do see that ultimately this person, they thought they could have both, is what I'm getting. They thought that they could focus mainly or really only on these material superficial things at the expense of you, the divine feminine, while still maintaining both, while having this level of success, status, and having you and your energy. They thought that you were so fully attached to them that you would never detach. And I'm hearing making you codependent. So this may have actually been a person who actively took steps to make you codependent on them, whether they were doing this intentionally or unintentionally. They made you codependent on them. And I have to say, in many cases, it does feel intentional, because they felt that if you were codependent on them mentally, emotionally, physically, then they could shift their focus entirely away from you and you would never leave. This would be the kind of person who, the more you give to them and the more invested you feel that you are in them, the more you would sense them actually pulling away, which can be a really damaging dynamic. And I do feel it really did a number on you emotionally. But I see that you withdrew your energy, your focus from this person. And I'm hearing the hardest thing you've ever done. So for someone listening here, this was the hardest thing that you've ever done. And it took a huge amount. I'm hearing it took all the courage that you had to choose yourself over this person and to step into the unknown. And when you withdrew, they were sent into the Five of Pentacles energy. They were sent into this phase of their life where they felt like they were experiencing a string of bad luck, where they felt as though nothing was really going their way, where they had all the time in the world to focus on those superficial things that they prioritized over you. But no matter how much they would focus on those things, they still felt like they were spinning out. And this is because they lost, I'm hearing, your magic, the magic, so to speak, of your divine feminine energy, which it reminds me of another channeled message that I pulled through that I haven't done a full video on yet. But the message came through today, and it was the invisible benefit of divine feminine energy. Because the thing about divine feminine energy is it truly, deeply, profoundly benefits anyone who has the privilege of being connected with it. However, that benefit is often taken for granted because it's very difficult to make the conscious correlations between the divine feminine energy and the results of that energy directly. Typically, the only way one could really make those correlations is by removing the divine feminine energy from the equation. And this is exactly why many people say that masculine energies require a bit of space or a bit of distance to fully fall in love with a feminine. The reason that this often happens, it's not always the case, but the reason it often happens is because most masculines are unconscious toward the inherent benefit of divine feminine energy. So when you give them that space or that absence, or you do withdraw, it's only in that space that they realize just how much your presence was benefiting them energetically. It's like they can only really recognize the power of your presence through experiencing some of your absence. Wow, that feels like it might be really powerful to include in a future podcast video. Let me know if you want to hear more on that. But I feel that with this person, they went into the Five of Pentacles energy and you went into the Seven of Cups energy. So you went into this state where you began to have all of these different opportunities, things, people, connections opening up to you. I just saw the number 2222 on the recording timer. I'm hearing the world really began to open up for you in this person's absence from your life, because all of that energy that you'd been focusing on them could now go back into yourself. And in putting that energy back into yourself, you've been magnetizing in all of these different things and opportunities into your life. For some reason, I'm hearing something about, and I don't know how this relates for someone. This might just be a random side note download, but when a divine feminine is connected to a masculine who truly recognizes the value of her presence and her energy, and I just use those pronouns her there because it is just for ease of reference. Of course, these aren't necessarily correlated to gender, but the reason when a divine feminine is connected to a masculine who truly recognizes her as a gift, it will actually show in her physical appearance. She will begin to look radiant. She will begin to glow. She will become her best self. She might even notice things like her skin looking clearer, being more motivated to exercise or move her body. She will begin to really encapsulate this kind of effortless, radiant beauty that becomes very magnetic in the presence, connected to a really awakened masculine who is nurturing her properly, who is caring for her. Because the thing about a divine feminine being connected to a masculine like this is he is creating a container for her, a container in the physical realm, because he tends to be more so the leader in the physical, whereas the divine feminine tends to lead more in the spiritual realm. So once the masculine creates this container for the divine feminine in the physical realm, she can actually relax more into her true divine feminine power, because she no longer has to be juggling both sides of the equation, trying to create that container all the time for herself while working in the spiritual realm all the time as well. Now, of course, it's really part of many divine feminines' healing processes to come to this place where they're capable of doing both on their own, because that allows you to never need to be codependent with a masculine energy when you know that you do have the ability to balance yourself, to balance your internal masculine and feminine, to create that container and structure for yourself while still creating and working in the spiritual realm. Yes, it's powerful to know how to balance yourself and to know that you're capable of doing that, because it allows you to master the art of detachment, where you never have to overly attach to anyone or anything, because you know deep down you're capable of doing that on your own, maintaining your homeostasis, your balance on your own. However, once you know how to balance yourself and you connect with a masculine who is truly a partner, who is truly a divine counterpart, who values your ability to work in the spiritual realm, who sees the correlation in what you bring energetically to that partnership and how that so benefits them and the both of you and the life that you're creating together. And they're able to make those correlations, even though it may not be direct or obvious in the conscious world. When you're in that kind of partnership, it allows you to fully relax into your feminine and to focus more attention, creating, being in that flow state, putting more of your focus into the spiritual realm. And that's why a true balanced divine partnership can be incredibly powerful. There can be such a powerful shared energy when both parties are balanced. And I don't know why all of this is coming through, but maybe this is what someone here is manifesting. Maybe you as a divine feminine are manifesting this kind of balanced partnership because you've come to this state of knowing that you can balance yourself, that you can both have that healed masculine energy within you, creating structure in your life, but you can also be acting as the healed feminine at the same time, creating and working in the spiritual realm. However, even knowing that you're capable of doing both on your own, you may be reaching a point where you are really opening to the idea of connecting with a healed, awakened, stabilized masculine energy who can allow you to expand even further into your spirituality, into your feminine nature, to really relax and expand and lean more into that energy through that stabilized partnership. So maybe I'm speaking to someone's desires here. Maybe for some of you, you actually have met a person like this, or you're kind of coming into this sort of partnership, this sort of balanced situation. But for some reason, this wanted to come out here. Now, I'm really feeling like, because all of this is coming through, that one of the next subliminals I create for my subliminals app, Sound and Soulful, will most likely be geared towards attracting in a balanced partnership, in a union, specifically as a divine feminine. If that is something you're interested in, if you are a user on my subliminals app, then let me know, because I would really be interested in exploring creating something like that you could use as a tool. But I'm going to go ahead and channel a bit more into what's going on with this masculine who was sent into this, we're calling it this phase where they were experiencing a string of bad luck. They may have even blamed that on you or thought that it was like some kind of curse. Yeah, this person is in a state of stagnancy at the moment with the Hanged Man. And I feel that they will be in this stagnant energy until they integrate what the stagnancy is pushing them to realize. I actually feel they're being divinely placed in this stagnant state because there's something that they need to heal from their past that's affecting their present. Now, this could be a childhood wound. This could be related to family dynamics growing up, how they were raised, societal dynamics. But I feel like there's something necessary for their own spiritual and emotional maturity that involves seeing something clearly from their past. And I'm hearing separating that past energy from themselves by seeing how it affected them and therefore breaking the cycle of just reacting to those old patterns or wounds. And this is a decision that this particular masculine is going to have to make for themselves with the Two of Wands. So with that being said, in the extended version of this reading, we will be looking deeper into this specific masculine as well. We will be taking a look at which choice they are most likely to make, whether they're going to choose to look at this thing from their past and heal it or not, and then potentially how this connection between the two of you could move forward into the future, what the potentials are there. So if you do want those extended messages, then the link to that Patreon reading is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. Okay, so I'm just going to open up the reading, and I want to know what else the beautiful divine feminines listening need to know at this time. What do you need to know? Man holding a coin in the upright position. The Temple Path card. Okay, so it seems as though you're aligning with a very powerful masculine energy as you personally remain aligned with your highest pathway in life. So what else can I channel about this? I'm seeing something about orbs or spiritual signs here. Okay, I'm going to get back to that if it comes up again. But with financial constraints and cornucopia, I feel as though someone I'm speaking to here may have found themselves in a little bit of a lack mentality recently. I'm hearing afraid of slipping, afraid of things declining, feeling kind of negatively caught in something mentally. This kind of feels like spinning around something mentally. If that is the case for you, then know that in this exact area, you are going to be, I'm hearing, soon experiencing the opposite of that lack, the opposite of that fear, because I'm sensing some very powerful manifestations coming through there. And in fact, I feel that why those old thought forms have been coming up around fear or lack in that area is actually to clear out some very last remnants of negative energy around that subject to really allow you to manifest something huge in a powerful way. So getting back to this masculine that you're aligning with on your highest pathway, for some of you, this could be one of the energies we channeled into in this reading, but in a more healed state of being. For others of you, this could be someone entirely new, someone you haven't met yet, someone you've met recently. But the key here is that this is an energy that you align with when you stay in your heart. And I'm hearing whenever you feel yourself connecting with a place or a person or a dynamic, a situation that's causing you to expand and open your heart even further and to want to heal yourself and to better yourself even more, that is a powerful sign that whatever or whoever you're connecting with is leading you further on track with your own highest vibrational timeline, and you will see the evidence and results of that in all areas of your life. I am getting some message coming up here about you noticing recently, to a greater degree than in the past, just how much the people that you connect with on a very consistent basis seem to affect your energy. I'm hearing something about your energetic field having become more, the best word I can use to describe it, I believe, is the word porous. So I want to actually look up the meaning of this to make sure it's the word that I intend here. So having space or holes through which liquid or air may pass, but in this case, it's energy. I actually feel as though your energetic field has been opened up in such a way that is allowing you to become, well, there's two sides to this coin. On the one hand, it's allowing you to become more psychic, and it's allowing you to read people's energy more easily and I'm hearing to channel more clearly. Now, maybe you do traditional channeling in this kind of format, doing tarot, doing energy readings. For others of you, you might channel in a less traditional way through creating something artistic. But regardless of how that channeling looks, I'm hearing for those of you who connect with this that the way your energy has become more porous recently is allowing you to create with more power and clarity. But on the other side of that coin, it also means that the people you connect with really regularly have a greater impact on your energy than they would have had before. So you may actually notice after spending a lot of time around a particular person or group of people, it has a stronger impact on your energy than it would have in the past. And that's why this message is coming up so strongly to really stay close to people who make it easier to open your heart, or who make you want to open your heart even more rather than closing it down. Because that heart chakra energy is really the generator for all other energy centers. It's the most powerful and magnetic of our chakra centers. So I'm going to go ahead and close this reading with a Rumi Oracle card, but I will be continuing this channeling onto Patreon. So we will be going into details of everything that came up earlier in the reading. And if you want a refresher on that, then I'll be leaving details on what specifically will be in the Patreon reading in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video, as well as a link to access that reading. But for now, I'm going to close the main YouTube reading with the Rumi Oracle card, Hand of Fatima. So let me go ahead and read from the guidebook here. Okay, it's almost at the very end of the guidebook, and it says, I can never leave you, not for a moment, not for an hour. You are in everything I do. You are my everything. My drink is your sweetness. I move to your command. I am a surrendered prey in your hands, and you are my consuming lion. Your soul and my soul are truly one soul. I swear to our one soul, I long for no one but you. In the garden of your grace, I am only a germinating sprout. The crown of my blooming is the desire to be in your arms. Rumi. And the guidebook also says, Fatima holds the wildness of divine feminine wisdom and the sanctity of life. She has great gifts of ecstatic presence, only able to be experienced through the spirit living in the body. She will share this if you allow her to guide you. So I'm going to go ahead and close the reading there. Thank you so much again for tuning in today. I am so grateful for each of you for being here. I'm sending you huge amounts of love and light energy, wishing you an amazing remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next reading.